Thousands of students apply for scholarship in Japan, but of course not everyone gets the scholarship. Although the competition for foreign students in Japan is comparatively very low compared to Europe and USA, but still I want to make a video where I want to share that how much it costs to study in a Japanese university if you are unable to secure a scholarship. So at the end of the video, you will be able to decide whether you can support your education in a Japanese university without a scholarship. Also, this is very important. In this video, I will also share some other options that how you can fund your education in Japan other than the mainstream scholarships. And this is actually very few people know about. So please sit tight and let's get into the video. First of all, let's talk about the types of universities in Japan. That will help us to understand the different fee structure in different universities. There are more than 900 universities in Japan, and they are major two categories. First one is government universities and the second one is private universities. Under the government universities, there are two subcategories. The first one is public universities and the second one is national universities. National universities are the one which are sponsored and supported by the Japanese government itself, and the public universities are supported by the local governments of different prefectures, for example Tokyo Prefecture or Osaka Prefecture. And then the private universities are run by some private organizations. So the most economical universities are national universities, and after that it's public universities, and lastly of course private universities are the little bit expensive ones. But surprisingly in Japan, the difference between fee structure of government universities and private universities is not very crazy. It's almost the same. Of course the private university is a little bit more expensive. So the data which I will share here is actually the average data of all universities in Japan. It is shared by Statistica. So in public universities, the enrollment fees which you only have to pay at the time of admission, it's 282,000 Japanese yen. And after that, for each year you have to pay 536,000 yen for each year. And in the public universities, the enrollment fees is 391,000 Japanese yen at the time of admission, and after that for each year you have to pay 536,000 yen. And for private universities, the enrollment fees is a little bit lower than the public and national universities. It's 246,000 Japanese yen, and after that the annual fees is 930 to 935,000 yen for each year. So of course the data will vary depending upon the each university, but this is how you will have how much you will have to pay for each year in the Japanese universities in the public domain and also in the private domain. And you can convert these amounts into your own currencies to have an idea that whether it's possible for you to support your education in Japan on self-finance basis. But I'm getting to the best part of the video, which is to share about the other opportunities to fund your education in Japan apart from the mainstream scholarships. Once you get the admission, there are many other opportunities and fundings which you can apply for after getting into the university. So the first option is the stipend, the monthly stipend, which is almost 50,000 yen by JASO. And the next option is to definitely apply for fee exemption if you are not able to pay the fees. So depending upon your circumstances, depending upon your academic performance, you can apply for the fees exemption, where the university will completely waive off your tuition fees and in some cases enrollment fees as well, in case your application is accepted. And of course everyone can apply for the postponement of the payment of the fees. For example, if you are unable to pay right away when you enter the universities, you can tell the universities that you will be paying after 1 year, or for example after 6 months or so on. For example, when you gather some money after doing part-time jobs, or you get the sponsorship from other scholarships. So there are many other private scholarships in the university which you can only apply after joining the universities, after having admission. So in this case, of course, if you want to come to Japan, you will have to first arrange your flight to come to Japan, and then also you need to arrange your accommodation by yourself. But after that, you can still apply for private scholarships. So depending upon the universities, there are a number of private companies that offer private scholarships to both international students and the local students. So you can have a look at the list of those scholarships at the university's website, and based on your eligibility criteria you can apply for these private scholarships as well, and these are almost same and sometimes even a little more or less than the mainstream scholarships like Max Scholarship or JICA Scholarship. So other than the fees of the university, some other major expenses are your residential cost and your food cost, and of course it depends upon the area where you live. Especially in Tokyo, it's a little bit expensive. The residence is a little bit expensive compared to the other parts of Japan, but I have made a complete video to cover the living cost in Japan, so you can definitely watch it. And the other thing which I want to share is the part-time job opportunities. So as a student, you are eligible to do a part-time job along with your studies up to 28 hours per week. And almost the average salary of part-time job in Japan is 1500 Japanese yen. Some part-time jobs pay you more, for example, teaching opportunities, English teaching opportunities, or any other technical teaching opportunities. And some part-time jobs like working at a convenience store or at a restaurant is a little bit lower. So the average payment for per hour part-time job will be 1500 Japanese yen. And I also have another video to explain about all kind of opportunities to work as part-time as a student in Japan, so you can definitely check that out as well. So this is what I wanted to share in this video, that even if you don't get the scholarship and you have some funds to sponsor your initial expenses, for example coming to Japan and initially settling here, then there are many other opportunities which you can get along the way to continue supporting your education in Japan. And I hope you enjoyed the video and you found it useful. So I make a lot of such videos on my channel, so please consider subscribing to my channel as well, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.